Maui Police Chief John Pelletier, who gave the order to trap victims in the Lahaina fire, has now been named as a co-conspirator in the Diddy case. Wasn't that a coincidence? Pelletier also happened to be the incident commander during the Las Vegas shooting. Another very interesting case. What are the odds? What are the odds that the same police chief would be in charge of the Las Vegas shooting investigation, the Maui fires, and now he's been named as a co-conspirator in the P. Diddy case, where he is accused of forcibly taking a Diddy victim at gunpoint from Vegas to California to be raped by Diddy by posing as a sheriff executing a fake warrant, according to the suit. Even after these incidents occurred, Pelletier was still named chief of Maui police, and the devastating fires happened shortly after. Many questions have loomed as to whether or not children went missing after the fires, where entire families disappeared without a trace. The government disputes these claims, which is why they have not been verified. This story goes much, much deeper than we already know. Vicious. And to want to ask about this was the thing, is it was like, originally the headline was that this guy who was named in the Diddy case also happened to be the police chief at the Maui fire scene. And hearing that just struck a chord in my memory of, wasn't that guy involved in other shady stuff too? I remember back when we were investigating Maui, we discovered that he was also the police chief when the Las Vegas massacre happened. 2 events with no official explanation. As far as we know, 2 events where mass death occurred with a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of concerning events. For example, the fact that Maui police were trapping people in the area where the fire was, not letting them continue to safety. And that's where you get the famous line, only those who disobeyed survived. The only survivors were those who disobeyed. People waited in their cars to be allowed through a checkpoint, waited until they burned to death, while people who ignored the checkpoints, drove around them, and disobeyed the orders were able to find safety and survive. So I think this guy has some questions to answer. I think this guy could provide some very interesting insight into some of these events. I wouldn't be surprised if he was found to have committed suicide with a shotgun blast to the back of his head before this goes to trial. Very, very disturbing. Defendant John Lawrence Pelletier was a individual who resides and is domiciled in Nevada or Hawaii. And he's named in this case for basically fake arresting a woman to be raped.